don't know what I'm fully capable of, but I know I'm fully capable. All the habits, all the patterns, all the books that you read, all the podcasts that you listen to, like all the good stuff that can benefit you, it falls on deaf ears without that story.
Welcome to the Strength Connection podcast, a show to share stories, insights, and experiences in strength, physically, mentally, and spiritually. I'm Michael Kurkowski, host of the Strength Connection, and I'm so grateful that you can join me today. So in these episodes, I connect with some of the most inspiring and successful individuals to chop it up and learn from true life experiences that have helped them become who they are, the strongest versions of themselves. One of the greatest ways I've always learned the most important lessons is through stories. We all have them, and they make us who we are. So let's dive in. Here we go.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Strength Connection podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Michael Kurkowski. I am your host today. It's me and you. We got a solo episode here. I wanted to dive into just some recent stuff that has been going through my mind, some stuff that I've been working on personally myself, as well as connecting and chatting with some friends and some other individuals on the podcast about it, and just want to have some real honest talk with you. Before I get to kind of the meat of this episode, did want to chat a little bit about the most recent episode that I did, as well as a new seminar that I'm putting out. So earlier this week, I got a chance to connect with a gentleman named Tim Bowie, and the episode's called True Flow State. Tim is a flow state coach and a 20-year veteran of going deep into different types of meditation practices. He's a martial artist as well. And I connected with Tim because I was just really interested in his views and his expertise on what flow state is. And it was a really interesting topic. It's something I heard a while ago about how flow state is more of our natural state, but only we get in our own way of the self-limiting beliefs or just the clutter that just goes through our mind. And that's what causes us to get out of flow state, but it's actually the most natural state we can be in. So I wanted to chat with Tim about it and just hear his insights. And incredibly articulate, incredibly thorough guy. He's writing a book right now on a lot of the stuff that we covered on flow state. And it was just a good, genuine conversation. Really interesting guy from California. So if the mindset side is really what you're digging and you're trying to dive into that, then this is a great episode for you to go into. And then along with that, on June 22nd at 5 p.m. Eastern time, I'm releasing my 4th Kettlebell Mastery Seminar, which is called Secrets of the Snatch. This is all particularly on the kettlebell snatch, something that has been a primary practice of mine, specifically over the last few years, but is really one of the first things that got me into hardstyle training and made me fall in love with the art of kettlebell training was learning and optimizing the kettlebell snatch. It's been something I've been really focusing on over the past couple years of diving into really the secrets behind it. What are the intricacies and the details to really maximize this one drill? And that's what I wanted to share in this seminar. So if you're interested in it, you can register in the description or go to my private Facebook page called The Strength Connection, and you can dive in for more info on that. Okay. All right. So getting into today, I guess how to start with this is, this is just an honest talk and stuff that's been going through my mind. So I'm probably going to fumble through this at a few different times. So bear with me as I try and keep this concise and as articulate as I can. But I have some old tendencies that I'm fighting to change because I'm trying to grow. If you're listening to me in this podcast, then you're probably doing a lot of things already for your health and your fitness and your strength. You're probably in a practice right now. You're probably working through some challenges. You probably overcome a lot of challenges. So you're probably doing a lot of right things, but you're trying to get to another level. There's more things that you're trying to either get better at that are your strengths, or you're trying to maximize and improve on your weaknesses. And that's what I'm trying to do every day. And a lot of the things that I am doing, particularly since I started the Strength Connection, since I started Breakthrough Secrets, are things that I haven't done before. There's things that, and if I've done it before, I haven't done them as a solo person who is the spearhead of a new business. So with that comes a lot of challenges, and when I think one thing too to preference is like when you hear something say like it's been a tough couple of weeks or it's been a really tough few months or a tough year, it can be very easy to I think like the whole year has been tough. Like every single day has been just continuously tough. I don't think it's like that. I think it's very much peaks and valleys in our lives of what we do, and that's what I've experienced. I've had some really great days, some really good stretches of a lot of great success and good mindset, feeling the growth that I'm trying to implement into my life. And then there's other days and there's periods of time that are very low, where you just feel like you can't get out of your own way, where strength feels off, where insomnia comes in, like a lot of just different things start to kind of just pile on top of each other. And it's a challenge. And how to stay, focused and objective and consistent in those times, that's one of the toughest challenges. And one thing that I thought of a lot this week is I have a tattoo on my right arm and it's on the inside of it. I've had it for a few years and it's a quote and it says, I don't know what I'm fully capable of, but I know I'm fully capable. And, it's not my quote. I actually got it from at once somebody I idolize who now I get to consider a great friend, Brian Grasso, who wrote this in one of his books. And it just resonated with me, it hit me. And, I put it on my body and etched it in because I thought of it as it's a nice reminder. It's a gentle reminder. It's a good quote, right? I don't know what I'm fully capable of. I just know I'm fully capable. But what I realized is it's much less of a reminder as it now acts a lot more like a harsh teacher or like a best friend in a way. Somebody who wants the best for you but also knows what you're capable of. And what I recognize with this quote is to actually believe its truth and to recognize means it's a leap of faith into action. It's actually kind of scary. Like to say, I know I'm fully capable. Yeah, it sounds good. But if you fully believe that, it's kind of a scary thing. It's like, oh my God, I'm actually fully capable of the goals that I'm trying to achieve and the desires that I'm trying to bring into my life. And all of a sudden you're like, holy crap, that means that if I don't accomplish this, it's just based on my own efforts and I'm just not giving it as, my all because I know I'm fully capable. And that's when my mind starts to spin and I start to go into a tendency of anxiety, of thinking that I'm putting pressure on myself, that I'm not where I need to be at the moment. I need to push even harder. I need to, do this more. I need to be better prepared for all the people that I'm talking to or working on the podcast or working with clients. And then it just becomes this whole spiral. And I think that's when this self-governor that we put in our heads only starts to set in. And what I mean by that is, if you know of like a governor, it's like I think it's like in a car, where it's something that like kind of keeps the specific, time frame. It keeps the specific speed idle. If you go too fast, it slows you down. If you're going too slow, it will speed you up. I always think of it kind of like a temperature gauge, where if you set the thermostat in your house to 70 degrees, well, if it's a really cold day, it's going to kick the heat on and it's going to braise it back up to 70. And on the flip side, if it gets too hot, it starts to burn up. It's going to turn the AC on and it's going to bring it back. It always finds that steady state and that steady flow. And I've seen that a lot personally in my life. And I'm pretty sure you have too. And I know a lot of people who have spoken to who are on a growth journey is when things are going really bad, I can figure out a way to really get myself back up to status quo. Okay, everything's good, everything's stable. Could be business wise, it could be strength. It could be any factor of things. You just know how to elevate yourself back up to get to where you're comfortable, where you are. But at the same time, when things are going really well and you can go to another level, then it's very easy to ease off the gas pedal and just go back into what you're comfortable with. And I think that's where a story is, and the story that we tell ourselves. So I say this because it's so vital to change the story that we tell before we change patterns and before we change habits. Patterns and habits, I think, are easy. That's a very objective thing that you can do. You could start a habit of a morning routine, wake up early, jump in a cold shower, do your meditation, go for a walk, get your workout in. Like you can change that. And it's very objective. You can write it down on a piece of paper of things to do and you go, okay, I did all this. Changing the story is different. Changing how you believe about yourself, of what you believe about yourself, is really different, because all your past experiences, all the things that you've done before, failures and successes, but oftentimes failures, they seem like they ring a little louder. They're bold letters on, when you write them down, you see them a lot more vividly. And I think it's a biological thing that we do. I mean, we're designed to find threats. A negative thing comes into our life, we pursue it as a threat. We're going to see that a lot more versus the positive things and the successes. That's why patterns like counting your wins, like imagining your outcome, are things that are so powerful and so good. But I also know personally myself, like I'm really good at following patterns and being a habit master. I can create a habit and I will follow that to a T. Like I'm a disciplined person. Those are my disciplined tendencies that I can do. I can put things down and I'll get it done. But the story of that I'm fully capable of doing all the things that I desire to do, about building, a great podcast, about having great guests on and asking great questions and bringing the best out of them, of having a client base that is doing phenomenal, about being the best coach that I can be, about being a great person for myself and do my own self-care, be a great person for my relationships, be a great person for as a son to my parents and a brother to my sister. Like, I mean, all those things, it's like, if you don't change the story of that, then all the habits, all the patterns, all the books that you read, all the podcasts that you listen to, like all the good stuff that can benefit you, it falls on deaf ears without that story. And so looking at this quote, I think too with tattoos, I'm sure if you have tattoos, like you forget that you have them. So it's not like I see this all the time, but this week earlier, I saw this and I just actually like wrote it down and I was starting to think of it. And I've recognized some of the things that have happened over the past couple years and how this quote's always come into my mind. And that realization of that you are fully capable and knowing that truth, it doesn't just send warm fuzzies into your head. It also sends a cold chill down your spine of being like, all right, I got to get some stuff going. Like, let's get it done. And not in a berating way or a vindictive way or putting you down, but more so like, hey, like you're capable of doing this. Let's freaking go. Like we need to get this done. And that's been really powerful to me. I wanted to share with you. I don't know if there's a quote that's really impacted you the same way, but if you want to use that one, lean on this, then I think it could be a benefit to you. But the aspect of story is so powerful. I've worked with many clients in the past who have had the same struggle, and we've talked about it and we've gone through it, and they're great for a few weeks. And then all of a sudden things just seem to pop up in the schedule. And then we're off for a couple of weeks and then we're fighting our way to get back in. But in the meantime, through it, of staying consistent with these, with your efforts of, having habits and patterns, I think is powerful. But while you're doing that is checking with the story that you're telling yourself. And I think that's the most powerful thing that you can do. I am by no means a master of it. I'm working on it day by day. And I think a lot of people that put out content too, it's very easy to just say, oh, I was in a bad state once before, and then I found this program and I'm freaking cured and I'm awesome now. And every single day is just fucking amazing. It's not. It's a lot of really tough days. It's life. We go through peaks and we go through valleys, and the valleys can be really, really low and they can be really challenging. And I wanted to share that with you. Like, I am going through stuff myself. I am trying to pursue things that are really personally scary to me. And it's an effort every day to do what I think is best for what I need to do. And I know you're fighting the same battle. And just wanted to tell you that you're not alone in that, and that's something I remind myself of. I'm not alone in this. I have people I talk to who are, once they say, dude, I know what you're going through, it's a tough thing. And that's so powerful for us to do. And it's vital, to us. So having that community, having that support around you, I think is great. But also I think the most important thing is just knowing your own story and revisiting that on an everyday basis. And some days are going to be great, and other days it's going to feel like nothing, but you keep working on it. And that's what I'm doing. And that's what I hope you're doing. And I hope this helps in any way. And want to say, Sue, just sincerely so appreciative and so grateful for you listening and continuing on this journey of this podcast. I hope it's a great value to you. And I'm just going to continue to work my best to keep elevating this up to the next level over and over again, every single day in the best way that I can. And I couldn't do it without you listening. So I really appreciate it. All right. Much love to you. Keep at it. Change your story if you need. And I'll leave you with the quote one more time. I don't know what I'm fully capable of, but I know I'm fully capable. All right, peace.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found some great value here. And if you like this episode, please drop a comment and leave us a 5-star rating and review. It does more to build the show than you can imagine. And do not forget to check out and join the Strength Connection Facebook group. In this group, I share the biggest takeaways and lessons from these amazing conversations, as well as training and strength tips for pursuing mastery and fulfillment in life. This group is filled with individuals looking to take full control over their strength, and it's the perfect space to explore new ideas and to share your journey. And you'll also get exclusive access to the Strength Connection Mastery Seminars. It's a deep dive into the physical, mental, and spiritual training that you can begin using immediately. So do not wait, go now. Seriously, go. All right, much love to you. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the next one.